Just seeing the response of your team from where they were at Duke to where they are now, how can you just speak to the growth that you've seen over the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, just we fought really hard. They showed a lot of heart, a lot of guts, tough environment. I think we probably lost 4 or 5 possessions of offense just because we could not hear anything and we couldn't get everybody on the same page. So in situations like that, I think this is an opportunity to grow from it. I think our players recognize that if we could compete and play against a team like that at this level, that there's certainly a lot of hope that we could become a really good basketball team.
You talked about beforehand bringing teams to like these college basketball blue blood environments. What do you think that showed them? What do you think they felt being in this environment and competing?
Well, they played fearlessly. I thought they all stepped up in different spots and made shots. They're a very difficult matchup because they have really good interior players and then they have great shooters and they got great guard play. Nemhard is one of the best point guards in the country. 11 assists, no turnovers, so that was outstanding. Because we pressured them and tried to turn them over. We just couldn't do it. But I thought it was a high-level game. It felt like it was a lot of shot making throughout the game. So I think we just try and grow from it. Realize we just lost to maybe a team that's projected to go to the Final Four potentially. And I thought we were right there for a majority of the game.
Bashir Jihad tonight, both sides of the floor, another double-double for him. Being the upperclassman and that presence for this group, how do you feel he settled down this team in a matchup like this?
I was very happy with his play because he had been struggling our first couple, just trying to find the rhythm in the offense, and it looked like he did a really good. I really battled on the backboard and did a lot of dirty work and came up with some really tough baskets, and got to the free throw line a little bit. So. Yeah, he had a really nice game.
What did you learn about the team? What maybe surprised you tonight that you weren't expecting coming in?
I just think we withstood a lot of adversity, and and we didn't retreat at any point. They made surges. We were able to come back and make plays to keep the game in a winnable range. And unfortunately, in those last 4 minutes, we just didn't get enough stops. And at our end of the floor, we just didn't connect a couple of times, but we had our chances.
What does the way you guys competed with the challenging schedule you guys have in front of you do for the confidence of this group?
Well, I told them after the game that if it doesn't inspire you to know that, again, Gonzaga, what they did to Baylor and in the first game and what people were saying about them as a Final Four caliber team, to go toe-to-toe with them and be right there in a tie game with 5 minutes left and on the road in a really tough place to play. It's got to show you if you stay with your work and keep getting better that we got a chance to be a good basketball team.
Alston and BJ talked about after game one that you guys still needed to come together as a team. How did you see the locker room and that group of guys come together tonight?
I thought they all at different points took advantage of things, particularly the offensive end. Austin was really good, very efficient, getting to the basket, scoring, making guys better. The same thing with Bashir. So I think we're getting multiple contributions from different players. JQ was really good in the first half. So we have I think we have a lot of weapons on offense and guys that we could go to. Unfortunately, Joe was his back was tight early at halftime, and he tried to warm up and didn't really think he could go. So we'll have to just reevaluate him, make sure he's good. But that hurt not having him to be able to go to there in the second half.
For Jaden tonight, his ability to close out, especially in that first half defensively, how do you feel like he's settled in as a defensive guy in this rotation?
He's still learning. He's 17, but he's got natural instincts and athleticism that nobody could teach. And his shot blocking ability is special. His ability to move and guard multiple positions. He's got such a huge future, but in the present, he's like a nightmare defensive matchup for an opponent because he could switch any position and he could block shots, and he's just he really gets after it at that end of the floor.
Going back to Phoenix this next week, what do you think are the big things this group should try to key in on before the matchup against UCU?
Well, we've had the hardest week, I would argue, of any team in the country. To start the season, playing 3 games like this in 6 days. So I think the number one priority is getting the team home and get rested, and then just start refocusing on getting ready for GCU on Thursday.
Coach, frenetic pace of play. Both you and Gonzaga like to push the pace. Talk about what you saw from your team being able to play an up-tempo offense and an up-tempo defense against a team like Gonzaga.
Yeah, it's because of the caliber of their players and the scheme they have and their commitment to running the floor. We knew we had to be efficient and make good decisions in transition. And if we didn't have something clean, we wanted to make sure we tried to run half-court offense and make them work. Didn't want to get in an outright, up and down fast break matchup. I thought their bigs outran us a couple of times in the first half, which was a problem in terms of the transition. But I thought overall we hung in there well, and I thought we were able to get some things done early in the shot clock when we had our chances.
Both Bashir and Huff leading scorers for the night. What does that say for both the players who are the leading scorers for each of their team to not be necessarily the go-to guy?
I mean, I talked to Coach Few, right after the game, and just mentioned how much I liked Huff. He jumped out on the film as versus Baylor, just with his just how his length and his touch around the basket. If he gets to that right shoulder with his left hand, he's very, very efficient at scoring the ball, and he's a very nice player. I think he's got a chance to be pretty good. But it was good to see Bashir from an Arizona State standpoint for us kind of snap out of a little bit of an early season slump, because he's a guy that could be a mismatch guy for us. He could pick and pop and shoot it, and he could go inside, so we could do a little bit of both. Thank you. Appreciate it.